Hey Greg, welcome to the Community Living Golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. Let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, setup looks great. Spine is straight and on a slight tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Arms hang down off your tilted spine. Club works out to the ball. So your posture looks really good. Balance also looks excellent as well. Let's next just take a look at your alignment. Feet are aimed in that direction. Theoretically, your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. So you're pretty much also set up down the center of the fairway. So that looks great as well. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here between you and Brandt Snedeker. We've got some color-coded lines up on the screen as a visual reference as it pertains to swing playing. So we'll just go ahead and watch Snedeker draw the club back. We can see that here as he initiates his takeaway, he has a good shoulder rotation, bringing his arms and hands back as well as the club. We see the club coming back right on plane, meaning it's coming back directly along the red line. At this point in time, he's going to start creating some wrist hinge into play, where he's going to transition the club head from below to above his hands. He's going to complete his shoulder rotation, working his left arm and club up to the yellow line, and completes that shoulder rotation about a very stable right leg, keeping the weight on the inside part of his right foot. Watch you initiate your takeaway. Excellent shoulder rotation, drawing your hands and arms back. Club's coming back on a beautiful plane. Starts working a little too straight back, so the club gets a little off plane, a little bit outside. So we can see it even more here. From here we can see that you maintain a little bit of stiff wrists and forearms with the golf club to this point of the golf swing. As we continue to move it back, we get a little bit of wrist hinge in there, and we're starting to work the club maybe a little bit vertical with the arms. When we finally set the golf club at the top of the backswing, we see good shoulder rotation, stable right side, and we do see that your arms get set maybe just a little bit upright. We'd like to maybe shallow that left arm down a little bit to the left here, so the left arm's a little bit more on the yellow line. At this point in time, as we create our transition back in the golf ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left foot, fire our knees and our hips to the target, unwind our core, and fire our hands. And in doing so, we want to bring the golf club from yellow back down on top of red. And that's exactly what we see here with Brandt Snedeker. We see the club returning right back to being on plane. The other thing we want to point out is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. Refer to this as the backwards check mark. Simply means the club head is remaining above and behind his hands. He's retaining angle coming into the hitting zone, which is going to allow him to create a lot of power in the golf swing, let alone getting the golf club to return back to plane, as we already pointed out, which is ultimately going to allow him to hit a straight golf shot in accordance to his alignment. With you, as you create your downswing, your hands come over the top, down yellow, out towards blue. That's having a major influence on your club coming into the ball too steep, and therefore your club head is going to track into the golf shot from over the top, too steep, and ultimately attack the ball a little bit from outside to inside. So we just sort of connect the dots here. We can see the descending plane of the club back into the ball, and we can see that the club head never returned back to the red line. With Snedeker's club returned back to the red line and continues to track into the golf shot from that red line from on plane. Again, this is what's going to allow him to hit a straight golf shot in accordance to his alignment, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. At this point in time, we can take a look at the pass of the club. We can see with Snedeker, the club is slightly inside the ball, expands out to make contact, and moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. I would have liked to capture your club just a little further back here, but basically we can see the club moving from here just before you strike it, and then as it moves through, we can see it moves through on that path. So if the club face happens to square up to that swing path, we would very likely pull the golf shot just a little bit left of where we want to go. If the club face over releases relative to this path, not only would we pull it, but then what would happen is we'd impart a little bit of right to left spin, and we would pull draw it or pull hook it. If we leave the club face a little bit open, the ball will still start pretty much in the direction of the red arrow, but then we would impart a little bit of left to right spin on the ball, and we'd hit a little buttercut on this shot. Nothing that's going to hurt you. If we leave that club face too open, the ball then starts a little bit further right of the red line, would have more left to right spin, and we'd hit more of a fade, more of a slice than a fade. So the end result of your golf shot when we are swinging the golf club on this yellow path from out to in, the end result of the shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face. Over release it falls red, under release it falls blue, and if we time it properly, it'll follow yellow and not a shot that's going to hurt us. We also get away with this a lot better with irons than we do woods, and that may be why perhaps you're using an iron on this tee as opposed to a driver, because when you do get those woods in your hand, you probably see a lot more left to right tendencies and harder to maintain your consistency. Anyways, that impact here, we see that Snedeker's right heel's off the ground. Watch the continued activity of that right heel up off the ground, up on the toe of the right foot. Allows the weight to get to the left side and for us to fully complete our golf swing. We can see with you through, get some good footwork, and moving through also to a very nice finishing position. Overall, you get some really nice athletic qualities with respect to your golf swing. Your hands work really, really well. Come back, fire through, looks excellent. You get some pretty decent turn coming back. You uncoil on the way through, that's great. You also get some good footwork on the way through, allowing you to get to a good finish. Unfortunately, when you bring the club back, you just bring that club back a little bit steep. We would like to try and get that club a little bit more around us and shallow out the arm plane at the top of the backswing. And then ideally, we would like to come into the ball a little bit more from on plane as opposed to from the outside. And then ultimately requiring precise timing with your hands and the club face not to hit that ball too far left or too far right. Anyways, good looking golf swing. If at any point you do want to work on any of those aspects, certainly feel free to contact me. All my contact information is at the end of this swing analysis. I am over at Glen Abbey in Oakville, and be happy to help you out. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments or sit on the committee for any events and you're looking for a unique gift to provide to the participants, certainly feel free to touch base with me regarding that as well. Anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video, and hope you have a great summer, and maybe we might hear from you. Take care.